Oh, I look good right now because of the filter. I hate when I do filters. So today had some good lessons, realized more stuff about myself. I look really good because of filter. Dumb filter. And then I look in the mirror and hate myself. But so today, well, yesterday I got my hair done. Whenever I get my hair done, I get like this boost of conceitedness, not confidence, because my body doesn't know like the difference between confidence and conceited. I was never taught like confidence, so conceited, pretty much how I see people perceive me, and then I get like a boost, and then I act all weird. So for the past 2 days, I was acting crazy, like just crazy and like mean. I had a mean encounter with a girl that I was driving with. Um, it was a red light, and she let another car. Where it was like a right turn, and she let another car go in, and I just scooted in there, and she tried to go. It was green, so she tried to go without letting me fully pass, and I was just like, even though I didn't have the right of way, but it was like I just had like such a conceited energy that it was like giving me a big head, and I was just acting crazy. So I cried because I'm like, that is so mean. And then I cried because I realized that I am a mean girl, and not like a snobby, like mean girl, like just a mean. I'm just not a nice person. Um, I'm not friendly, which I was like, I always was like, I'm not friendly, but I'm not mean. But today I realized like I'm not nice either. I'm not friendly, I'm not nice. And so it really hurt, and I cried a little bit. I cried after I realized what I was just being so mean to the girl driver. And like I prayed. I was like, Lord, please humble me, because I was like just getting really like, I'm just like walking around thinking I'm so cute. And he did humble me. So I was at my seat. This is for after 2 days, get me on my high horse, like strutting, like just thinking I'm all that, and I'm on my seat, and I hear someone in the back saying, I don't even know her, but I want to fight her. And as soon as she said that, like I literally, like my stomach, like I got like a hot flash in my stomach. I was so scared, and I was literally about to start crying, because like my biggest fear is embarrassment. I'm like, what if they take my wig? What if they like pull it off, and like people in the office is like, like just like, I don't know. I'm just like, embarrassment is like a big thing. So it was like, I was crying, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I did ask the Lord to humble me, and this was like the humbling pie. And I was just like, I was being so mean to that person. I was walking around like I'm big and bad. And as soon as they did it to me, it was like, I can dish it, but I can't take it. And I'm like, you can't take it, stop dishing it. And so I cried. I was scared. I'm like, I'm going to quit my job again. And I still might. And I just got the schedule that I really like, but I humbled myself so quick. I stopped walking around with like my conceited energy, and I'm like, I don't know how to be confidence is like quiet. It's inner strength, it's inner beauty, and it's not just like I look good, but I never had like inner value. I've never taught to be confident, or that I had anything of value. So conceitedness is like whenever I see people looking at my body, looking at my like my face, my hair, like just giving me attention, I get a boost, because I'm like, oh, they like them looking at me gives me the boost. I'm like imagining them thinking like all this stuff about me. So all I know how to do is operate on conceitedness, and whenever that happens, I get like this air of like just like I don't even know, just ugh, but big headed. And so I really want to learn how to like be grounded in myself, to where people staring at me, which is, and looking at my body, is not something that like boasts my head up, and start making me act crazy when I cannot cash these checks I'm passing out. So I'm happy about that. I cried about that. I cried just now because I realized that I'm not me. I mean, I'm not nice also. And that was like my biggest thing. I'm like, I'm not mean, but I'm just not friendly, and it's just like, nope, I'm really cold. I'm very hot and cold person. I'm very like, leave me alone, very mean, very unfriendly, like to people besides my family or people I grew up with. And I'm just like, I I had to become that person to survive, at the home. Um, and I like walk around with my like my mean face, and it looks like I'm glaring at people when I just like glance, so I don't glance. And then people are like, she like doesn't talk to anyone, and it's just like, and it's all black people, so it's just like, one wrong move, it's a fight. And so, but still, I'm just like, I have to work on it. Like I took all the social media. So I had the social media off my phone for a couple months, and I had so much growth, and I put social media back on my phone for 2 days, and I was like crying because like all the growth, I felt like it was like I just stopped, and it'll take me like extra days to get back to where it was, because I feel like, so what I like, my personality that I started seeing like shimmer of like my super sensitive, super sweet, like grounded, earthy personality that I was like writing. I was like, oh, this like, and going on Pinterest and getting so much inspiration. I know that's what like underneath all of this. And it was just like, it was drowned out by like my social media for a couple days. And like after social media, like I was like, ew, I don't want to do that. Like it just like, I don't know. It like, I don't know. It just like overstimulated, and like now I can't see that person that I know is me deep, deep down. So I have to restart. My sister, she put like control locks on my phone, so I don't have social media right now. I did it wrong. I have Chrome, so I can get on YouTube and stuff like that, which I'll do like 3 hours a night, which I'm like, that's still too much. But I'm gonna go back tomorrow, and she's gonna fix it so where I don't have any social media. And I really just want, like, it's so crazy because I just know the progress I was making. Like my music, like I was like going back to like alternative, like 80s music, and I really like that, and that's like really deep down what I like. But then like I just started listening to hard rap because I needed the stimulation. So it's like whenever I was like getting like seeing my personality, I like, that's what it was. It's super sensitive, super nice, um like, green, earthy, big windows, meditation, regulation, like stillness. Like it was beautiful. But it's just like whenever I get on like social media on my phone, I dissociate. And like dissociation is like, for me, it's like a whole different level. Like dissociation, presence, and presence, like, and still, and presence, it's like category stillness, and that's where I can see, like, I can like get glimpse of who I am deep down. But it's like dissociation like closes like the door, the closes the window. And so like social media like puts me in this like dissociated like, state. And so I'm like, I revert back to normal, like, ew, that's dumb, like that's not me. And so I have to like get back off of that, and I'll have to do a couple days to like get back to the person I am becoming. But I know for a fact who that person is. It's so crazy because my trauma personality is the complete opposite of who I am underneath. And it's just crazy. And I know that I'm like I'm girly girl right now, but I know that my deep down who I'm meant to be is like integrated feminine energy and like earthy greens. Like my room is like so loud and bright and chaotic and pink, and but like the room that I was like decorating on Pinterest for my next apartment is like white and like plants everywhere, and like I felt like so attached to it. And like the new I was doing a whole revamp, and I was like, this is me. This is who I was underneath this whole time. But as soon as I got back on social media, like went back, I reverted so fast. So I have to like give my sister locks, get off of social media. But um oh my gosh, okay. And like I already know this is like the end of this apartment for me, and it's a bittersweet because I was here for almost, I think, 19 months. When September to September is 12, right? So I'll be here 18 months before I move. And every apartment I take a picture of it and I document, because I have growth in different apartments. In this apartment, I've had so much growth, and just so much healing. This is where I started feeling emotions, where I went through like that breakdown, but really it was just like all of my pain and trauma was just stored. I store stuff. I don't like forget about it. It's stored in my body. So like all of that, like for 6 months, I was just crying and crying in my office, crying everywhere, just breaking down and like feeling all these new emotions. Like I have videos where I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel sadness for the first time. Like I'll have an emotion and I'll be like, this is sadness. And so it was so amazing. But I think I've had like the most growth I can have in this place. I'm closing a chapter. My next place is going to be regulation, revamp, and growing into, the person that I was always underneath. Whenever we were growing up, we did like these personality tests. It was like D for dominant, I for like, I forget what I, but it was like extroverted type. That's like a social bunny. C for cautious, no, yeah, cautious, like the calculated type, and then S for support, which is like super sensitive, super sweet, caring. And I was always D because I was just a mean, like black and white dominant person. Like you can't tell me anything. Like I wasn't like fight energy, but I was just like, that you learn like the way I grew up. So I grew up, I went to the home when like it was still very much like detention kids there. So I was 5, 6, was in the dorm with like 30 other detention kids. Like not, they weren't in the detention, but they're like as bad. And then like later on, they stopped like taking those, and everyone like the kids like started changing. That's why oh my gosh, that's why I like stuck out like a sore thumb. But the way I grew up when I first got there was so sensitive and so like needy and clingy. And I remember like you had to stick up for yourself. Like they would eat you alive, and they did. And then I became this. And so like my personality is just dominant. Like you're not going to tell me anything. Like any little thing, someone would be like, pick that up. Like sometimes like you just ignore it and like you just like don't do it. But I would like everything I had to like correct it. Like don't talk to me like I was like a monster. And so I was always D personality because that's the only character trait they could measure me on. I had no other like character traits or anything. And that's like the complete opposite of who I am healing into, which is S, supportive, like very sensitive. Like I'm so happy that my sensitive side is returning. I cried today because I was like thinking about how I was so mean to that girl. And I cried when I like yelled at my sister, but not really yelling. We had a confrontation, but I was like so upset with the way I talked to her. I'm like, this is my sister. And so I cried about that. I cry about everything, and like I'm becoming sensitive, but it's hard right now because my outer shell is still very much like, so my inner personality, my inner shell is melting so fast and I'm becoming who I was meant to be. My outer shell has not budged. Like look at me, like don't you dare look at me, like don't glare at me. Like I have that like intimidating like you know outer shell that I still don't know how to like start working on. That I don't know, but my inner shell is like melting so fast. Like everything makes me cry. you know Thinking about being mean to someone, like made me cry. And like seeing people like miserable faces make me cry. And I don't know if this is like a phase at first when you're like overly sensitive and you go to being like normal sensitive, but still I'm just happy that I'm becoming sensitive. But yeah, so I know who my personality is underneath. I see glimpses of it, and I know that staying off social media will help me, and journaling and being in stillness and like going back to how I was for that month. And I had so much progress. And I literally every week I'm journaling like 6, 7 things that I like saw about myself, like that I felt and cried. Like today alone, I felt my meanness, my rudeness, um, what was it? My conceitedness, energy, like felt the energy and I cried. Um there's like, oh my gosh, and that's just this week. But literally I had like, was it last week? It was like hypervigilance, dissociation, hurt, pain, like I do vlogs all the time because I want to like remember this, but like every week I'm feeling more and more emotions, and I'm healing more and more and integrating more and more. But which I'm very happy, but it still hasn't like changed like my outer shell. I'm still like a bitch on the outer shell. And also I did see that today, and I'm like, yeah, I am a bitch. But like before I could say that and be like, yeah, but like now I can say it and I'm like, oh wow, this is the stuff I do. And the best thing I can do, like, to, because I'm like so like really into self-compassion, because it's not my fault I became like this, but I do have to like change, you know? I can't stay like this forever. And so I'm so compassionate with myself. Like, um, I can say like I'm a bitch and not like be hurt, because I'm like, when I say that, my mind is like, they made me like this. Like the environment I was shaped me into this. So it's not my fault. So I'm like, I'm a bitch. And I'll think that, but I'm like, but I can take accountability for how I show up to people. And obviously it's going to take a while because I still don't know how to like change my outer shell. Um, but I can take accountability. And so that's what I've been doing. And also like, all of my like bitchiness, my coldness, meanness, all is because like my protective shell is because I didn't know how to have connection as a child. Like I don't know, I never had connection with my mom. And I think like your first like relationships is what forms it. Like if you're avoidant, if you're anxious, like I didn't have it. So it's just like, I didn't know how to, I literally thought up until like a year ago that connection was how you made people feel. So I'd go around and be like, "Woo-la," like, and I'll try to make people laugh. And I'm like, if they laugh a lot, then they'll like me. And that means like we're forming connection. So I was like that. And because I was like that, I'd like, you know, I have this cold, you know, shell. And then I get to know people and I'm like, "Woo-la," like unintegrated, like childlike emotion. And then they're like, you're weird. And that hurts me so bad. So then I close off. And it happened so much when I was a child. Like I just knew that I'm like, they're gonna think I'm weird. I don't know how to connect. So I just avoided people. I was like, I had like that energy, like, do not talk to me. You know, I was so cold to people. If there's new people that were scared to come in the home, I wouldn't be friendly. I wouldn't say hi, because I was like, when they would come in and I would take them over my wing for a day, I would be like, "Blah," you know, and I didn't know how to connect. So like the next girl that came that they met and they like talk and connect, like she would go and like be with that girl, and that hurt my feelings so bad. So I stopped being nice, and I like, because I didn't know how to connect. I didn't know how to like I don't know how to have relationships to this day. And so um yeah, so all of like my protective shells, like my bitchiness, my coldness, my like intimidation, is all because I don't want people to get close to me because I don't know how to connect to them. And so that's really hard because I still don't know how to connect to people. I don't know what my personality is. I'm still like in the in between of fully healing. So I know what my personality is. And then on top of that, like I'm not good with like my face motor skills. I am now because like it's just me. But if I'm talking to people, I'll just be like this the whole time. And I'll be like, oh, that's cool. Like literally. And I just don't know how to, I don't know why, but it's like when I get in front of people, my face is just dead. And so, and I can see like the, like the scaredness, not the scared, but like the, like what the heck on their faces. Cause like my face is so still. And I'm just, and then it makes me scared. And I'm just like, okay, let me leave them alone. And then the next time we see each other, I'll just ignore them because I'm like, she's about to say I'm weird or say something that's gonna hurt my feelings, so I just cut her off like that. And yeah, but I'm so happy that the Lord humbled me today. I hope that humbling stays like that, and there's no physical altercations or confrontations, because I don't want that. I really don't want that, but I do want to keep humbling myself and learning how to be confident and not conceited and think I'm better than people. And I still have like that set apart snobbiness from you know, I was obsessed with one of these shows because like there's this one girl, she was such a brat and such like, she didn't care, I don't know, but like I took on her personality because it gave me dignity. Because even though I was so weird and everyone thought so bad about me, I would still stand up and be around the pretty girls, and I had like no hair and I would still like, you know, so I took on that personality because it gave me dignity. So like that, I'm still trying to integrate and, you know, heal. And then